This is the top level of a elimination problem, probably the most difficult you'll see in this course. In this one, notice what's different. In the last example, the very first example I should say, we didn't have to change either of these equations. We could just add them straight up and something would eliminate. In the last example, all we had to do is multiply one equation and something would eliminate. But let's take a look at this one. There's nothing I can multiply 5 by to make this a -7, right? To make it a -7, because this 5x would have to be a -7x to cancel out here. I mean, I could multiply by -7/5, but that's going to give me fractions throughout the rest of the problem, and that's just going to make my life more complicated, which is the exact opposite of what I'm trying to do. Same thing with the y's. What can I multiply 2 by to make that, because it's a -2, I want to make it a -5. Well, I'd have to multiply by 5/2, and once again, if I multiply everything by 5/2, my life's going to be more complicated. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to multiply both equations actually. And take a look how I'm going to do this. I'm going to notice this 2y and 5. The next time that 2 and 5 meet up, it goes 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, right? 5 goes 5, 10, right? 10 is their least common multiple. So I know that I can make both of these 10y's. To make the top one a 10y, I need to multiply by 5. To make the bottom one a positive 10y this time, I need to multiply by 2. And watch what happens when I do that multiplication. It's going to give me this new equation. 25x minus 10y equals 20. My bottom equation, 14x plus 10y. 2 times 30 is 60, but that's 2 too much, so that's 58. So I have these two new equations, and this becomes my new problem, right? That becomes my new problem. And notice we set these y's up to be eliminated. That's why we call it elimination. We're not trying to fool you with the name. Right? So now I'm going to add these two equations together. And this will be 39x -10y plus 10y, guess what, that's gone, equals 78. If I want to solve this equation, I just got to divide both sides by 39, and I figure out that x equals 2. And that'll be my first solution. Like all these problems, now I need to figure out what y equals. So this is where it gets a little bit, the issue here is we have so many choices. Look at that. I have 1, 2, 3, 4 different equations, right? And I can plug these into any of those 4 equations and be all right. Like I said, I'm trying to make my life as easy as possible. So I'm going to go with the one with the smallest numbers. It's got one negative, but I think we can overcome just that one negative. You're not wrong if you plug it into this equation or this equation or this equation. As long as you follow the basic rules of mathematics, you'll be all right. I'm going to erase this real quick, and I'm going to plug that x into this equation to figure out what y is. Okay. Alley-oop, x equals 2, so this is 5 times 2. So that'll be 10 minus 2y equals 4. Well, I'm going to have to subtract 10 from both sides. And be careful, that's a -2y that's left over. Four minus 10 is a -6. My last step, I need to divide both sides by -2. And I'm going to get y equals +3.